News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. And there is your closing bell for this Tuesday on Wall Street, where traders drove stocks down from all-time highs. Fed Chair Jay Powell offering no hints on whether he might support a rate cut at the central bank's October meeting. We're going to get into all of that just ahead. But first, we bring you the closing numbers. We do it each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 losing 37 points. NASDAQ is down 216 points. The Dow down 89 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.11% and the 2-year yield at 3.59%. We're going to get right back to the markets in just a bit, and we'll get those comments from Fed Chair Jay Powell. But first, we want to take you to the UN General Assembly, where President Trump accused the UN of not living up to its potential. He also told that meeting that he had expected the Ukraine war to end quickly.
It was supposed to be just a quick little skirmish. It's not making Russia look good. It's making them look bad.
Trump later posted on Truth Social, quote, "I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form." Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Trump is a game changer by himself if he will be sure in Ukraine. And I think that he is more close now to this situation.
Trump also said he's agreed to meet with Brazil's president after an impromptu interaction between the two leaders on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly.
I was walking in and the leader of Brazil was walking out. I saw him, he saw me, and we embraced. But we actually agreed that we would meet next week.
Trump has clashed with Brazilian President Lula before over the conviction of Brazil's former president, Jair Bolsonaro, for attempting a coup. Going back to the Fed now, Fed Chair Jay Powell says policymakers are facing a challenging situation in balancing risks to inflation in the labor market. He says the impact of tariffs has been less than first expected.
Core PCE inflation is 2.9%. Maybe 0.3 or 0.4 of that is tariffs. So it's not the big factor. It's not, a big inflationary thing, but it is something that is driving up inflation a bit.
Powell says the hiring rate has also dropped, as has job creation.
Part of it just is there's a lot of uncertainty about the direction of public policy, and so companies are holding off. They're not hiring.
Powell speaking to the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce. Fed Governor Michelle Bowman says policymakers are in danger of falling behind the curve and need to act decisively to bring down interest rates.
Now that we've seen many months of deteriorating labor market conditions, it's time for the committee to act decisively and proactively to address decreasing labor market dynamism and emerging signs of fragility.
Bowman was speaking to the Kentucky Bankers Association, but Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee says the central bank should be cautious toward any future cuts.
Eventually, at a gradual pace, rates can come down a fair amount if we can get this stagflationary dust out of the air.
Goolsbee tells CNBC the central bank needs to be careful with being too aggressive. Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic says he sees more inflation on the way.
Not having been at Target for over 4.5 years, we definitely need to be concerned about it. And, one of the things that our team has really been trying to do is get a sense of what the trajectory of inflation is likely to be over the next 6 to 12 months.
Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic speaking to the Macro Musings podcast at George Mason University. A man accused of trying to assassinate Donald Trump last year at his Florida golf course has been found guilty. The jury of 5 men and 7 women found Ryan Ruth guilty on all counts that he was facing after 2 hours of deliberation. After the verdict was read in court, Mr. Ruth appeared to try to stab himself in the neck with a pen. Several United States Marshals restrained him and removed him from the courtroom. Jimmy Kimmel Live is set to return to the air tonight. Disney, the parent company of ABC, ended Kimmel's suspension for remarks he made about the shooting death of Charlie Kirk. But Nexstar Media says it will join Sinclair in preempting the show tonight anyway. Disney says that's about 23% of U.S. households. Network affiliates are free to preempt a particular program for as long as they want, but they might eventually have to face a penalty. Subscribers to Disney's Hulu streaming service will be able to watch Kimmel's show. And Disney is raising the price of Disney Plus subscriptions. The Verge reports the new standard standalone price will jump $2. The premium plan will jump $3. The company has raised the price every year since December of 2022. This latest price hike will reportedly take effect October 21st. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.